Real and Barca want United star, Liverpool suffer defensive woes, Dybala's bust up with Juve, a transfer roundup, last week's Friday feels, and Emoji Mondays, all coming up on today's OneFootball Daily News. I am your host, Angelina Kelly. Let's get into it. So, first up today, Real Madrid and Barcelona are apparently after Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes. Now, I'm not going to lie, this one did floor me. You know, with 15 goals, 11 assists in 27 appearances for Bruno Fernandes, he's pretty much become the heartbeat of Manchester United, and it would be very, very sad to see him go. However, apparently Real Madrid and Barcelona have got him on their radar. They are monitoring him, and it may be that in January, either one of the clubs are going to swoop for him, or they may wait until the summer. Now, with Real Madrid, I'm not too sure if I can see this one happening. I think they are pretty much covered. Although they do have the older players in the likes of Kroos and Modric, they do have young players such as Odegaard and Valverde coming through, but apparently there is a bit of a rumour that Manchester United had their eye on Valverde. So maybe there could be a bit of a swap, but I really can't see that one happening. Now, with Barcelona, obviously they still have Coutinho, they have Pedri, they have De Jong, so they are kind of covered in those areas as well. But I guess you never know. Although Manchester United did manage to get a 4-1 win over Newcastle over the weekend with Fernandes on the score sheet, there are still rumours of a little bit of upset, especially within the dressing room. Bruno Fernandes has a very vocal opinion of what's going on, and a few people have been a little bit upset by that. It does seem like he probably will stay for now, as he's only been there 2 minutes, but it would be very hard for him to resist the calls of the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid. Next up, and Liverpool, they had a tough weekend. Not only did the Merseyside derby end in a 2-2 draw, which people could argue that Liverpool should have won, Virgil van Dijk had a horrific injury thanks to a shocking tackle by Pickford. How he stayed on the pitch, I have absolutely no idea. This means that Van Dijk is probably not going to be on the pitch for Liverpool for the rest of the season, really. And fingers crossed he does make it to the Euros, as he's going to have surgery on an ACL injury on his knee. With the Champions League fast approaching and a tighter title race this season than last, former Liverpool captain Jamie Carragher has come out and said that Liverpool need to buy a defender. I mean, the timing of this is just awful, especially with the transfer window recently closing. But he has said that they definitely need to go shopping in January. Now, when you look at centre-backs, there have been so many rumours over the summer with the likes of Upamecano, Koulibaly moving around Europe, but they did not move in the end. Now, they were linked with Premier League clubs, and I feel like out of any club, Liverpool could definitely attract a big name like that, but they have to be realistic, and they're never going to find anybody to replace Van Dijk, but they could have a good shot at getting somebody who is at least going to provide them a little bit of coverage, especially with Gomez and Matip. They are injury prone sometimes, and the fact that they haven't replaced Lovren, they definitely need to get looking. In the meantime, Thiago is sidelined for a few weeks, so it's looking like Fabinho is going to have to step into that defensive role and help his team out. And with Ajax fast approaching this week, it's going to be a test for Liverpool. Our third story is about Mr. Paulo Dybala, and as if there were not enough rumours about this man and his future at Juventus, things have just got a little bit more heated. Reportedly, his frustrations about being left out of the side boiled over in the tunnel as he had a clash with Juventus's chief footballing officer after he was left sat on the bench during Juventus's lacklustre draw against Crotone. The 26-year-old is actually yet to make an appearance for Juventus this season, with manager Pirlo opting for the likes of Kulusevski and Portanova. Now, Pirlo claims that the reason he left Dybala out was because he didn't get enough training time, and he said he only had about 10 minutes to train. Whether this is true or not does remain to be seen, but this is not going to help matters. You know, the future of Dybala has been so up in the air. There were so many transfer rumours over the summer. I was quite surprised that he didn't end up leaving. And all this is doing is adding more fuel to the fire. I think at the end of the day, if Juventus don't want to play him for whatever reason, get rid. If Dybala doesn't want to be there, then he should go. Maybe as the season goes on, he'll be able to find a little bit of form and make some more appearances and get some more minutes under his belt, which obviously he needs. But it remains to be seen where he's going to end up. It could be in January that he does end up going to Stamford Bridge, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with this one. Next up is our transfer roundup, where we take a look at some of the other transfers and news going on in the footballing world. First up, Ronald Koeman is again urging Barcelona to get the signature of Gini Wijnaldum and Eric Garcia from the Premier League. Brighton have managed to sign on a one-year deal former Manchester United, Arsenal and Watford player Danny Welbeck. Adama Traore is reportedly snubbing interest from Liverpool and Barcelona, and he's reportedly going to be signing a £100,000 a week deal with Wolves. And finally, Aston Villa managed to maintain their 100% win record as they got a last-minute win over Leicester last night. And now we come to Friday Feels. Now, I took a look at some of the predictions from last week, and there were a few people that got some stuff right. Now, somebody called Matthew, not our Matt, I don't think, but who knows, he didn't necessarily get the scoreline right, but he did predict that Calvert-Lewin and Mo Salah would get on the score sheet in the Merseyside derby. Now, Milan Bindesco, he did get the Everton-Liverpool scoreline correct, and he also predicted that AC Milan would beat Inter 2-1. And finally, much to Matt's sadness, McCool guessed that Gareth Bale would not score and would not get an assist in his return to Spurs. And finally, it is Emoji Monday. This is where we take a look at some of the weekend's action and we put an emoji on some of the best and worst performances. So first up, best player. For me, got to be Robert Lewandowski. I mean, he was he's a vital cog for Bayern all the time, but he was definitely even more of a vital cog this weekend in their 4-1 victory. He managed to get 2 goals and an assist and just keeps proving time and time again why he has got to be considered as one of the world's greatest. Next up, worst player, it has got to be Kurt Zouma for Chelsea. He had an absolute nightmare in defence. He was pretty much responsible for, in some way, all 3 of the goals that Chelsea let in, and his partnership with Christian is not looking very steady, and it's definitely something that Lampard needs to look at. And finally, best result. Now, I've got 2 for this, and they both come from La Liga. First one is Cadiz and their 1-0 win over Real Madrid. It was so great to see the newly promoted side get that win, and it's their first win against Real in almost 30 years. And the second one has to be Getafe and their 1-0 win against Barcelona. It was a bit of a shocker in La Liga over the weekend. You know, Getafe are now actually sitting second in La Liga, and it's looking like it's going to be a really exciting season in Spain. But those are my Emoji Mondays. You guys let us know in the comment section below who you thought was the best player, the worst player, what your favourite game was. Get involved. But that is all from me for today. Make sure that you check out all the other content that we have got going on at OneFootball by clicking here and here. Make sure that you get involved in the comments below. Let us know what you thought of the daily news and those Emoji Mondays. Take care, and I will see you guys soon.